Let me tell you about George Washington's dirty slavery loophole. The former first president of the United States, George Washington, used illegal tactics to avoid freeing his slaves. Let's go back to the Pennsylvania Gradual Abolition Act of 1780. This was the first law in the U.S. to gradually end slavery. Enslaved people who lived in Pennsylvania for 6 or more months could claim freedom, but Washington, who lived in Philadelphia at the time of this act, didn't want his slaves to be freed. What is Washington's dirty slavery loophole? Washington secretly rotated his slaves back to Virginia every 6 months. This reset their residency clock and blocked them from claiming freedom. It broke the law, but Washington did it anyway. He kept it quiet. Washington had one slave named Ona Judge, and she escaped from his mansion in 1796. Washington personally sent agents to track her down in New Hampshire. Ona Judge was Martha Washington's maid, enslaved since childhood. Ona Judge refused to return. Washington never caught her. There were also custis slaves. These were the slaves from Martha Washington's former husband. They became the slaves of the grandchildren. Washington could not free these slaves. Washington freed only his own slaves in his will, not the custis slaves. Washington made sure that his slaves remained slaves during his lifetime. What was slavery like for the slaves of Washington? They worked 6 days a week in the fields at Mount Vernon. Washington kept tight control over his slaves using overseers, and some families were separated through being sold at slave auctions or through inheritance. History remembers Washington for being a founding father of America, but it's time we remember what he founded on the backs of slaves. Like and subscribe if you're ready for real history. Know your history.